years have been devastating for all the communities in South Wales. This just exacerbates the problem by putting at risk the miners that are winning anthracite out of the ground in Wales at prices that are competitive against the world and finding themselves getting dumped on by the Germans.
Many of the miners employed by Celtic sing in the local choir. They worry their jobs may be lost. These men have worked in the pits for decades. If the mine's shut, there's nowhere else to go.
With the demise of the deep mines, this is the only heavy industry that's really left in the top ends of the valleys. There's nothing else.
In Germany, though, the coal companies won't back down. The European Commission is investigating, but the harm done to the British industry may be irreparable. Jonathan Charles, BBC News, Ibn Buren.
The United States envoy to the Middle East, Dennis Ross, has returned to the region in an attempt to move the peace process forward. He's expected to ask the Israelis to call a temporary halt to the building of Jewish settlements in Arab areas. From the West Bank town of Hebron, Paul Adams reports.
A moment of quiet reflection at the heart of a divided city. At the corner of the building where their patriarchs are buried, ultra-Orthodox Jews gathered to pray. It's the middle of Sukkot, one of the holiest weeks in the Jewish calendar. But in Hebron, religion and politics are one and the same. Jewish settlers came from far and wide to celebrate the festival. 450 Jews live in the heart of this overwhelmingly Arab city. Today, thousands joined them. For 2 days, the mosque is closed to Palestinian worshippers. The settlers can celebrate, happy in the knowledge that security is tight.
We want Hebron back. We want it back. That's it.
20 miles away, Washington's tireless mediator was back, pursuing the peace process. Dennis Ross wants Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to some sort of settlements freeze. 10 days ago, he spoke of a new beginning. But the only new beginnings are in the settlements themselves. The Prime Minister says towns like Efrat, midway between Hebron and Jerusalem, will continue to grow. It's music to the ears of the settlers in Hebron. They'd rather the Prime Minister abandoned the peace process altogether. They needn't worry. For the time being, there's little sign of movement. The festivities are designed to emphasize the settlers' determination not to be pushed around. A more graphic and noisy demonstration of their hold on the heart of Hebron would be hard to imagine. Dennis Ross may well be back in the area, but to these people, all talk of a settlements freeze is meaningless. Paul Adams, BBC News, Hebron.
A Russian man and his young son are about to continue sailing around the world after surviving 6 months adrift. They damaged the steering mechanism of their yacht in the Indian Ocean and survived by eating raw fish and drinking rainwater. Eventually, they were washed ashore on the island of Phuket in Thailand, from where David Willis reports.
Theirs is a truly remarkable survival story. Father and son's dream of sailing round the world in a yacht they built themselves very nearly cost them their lives. For 6 months, they say, they survived by drinking rainwater and eating raw fish caught using a television aerial as a spear. The problems began when their yacht hit an unknown object in the Indian Ocean, damaging the engine and communications equipment and leaving them drifting without power. It wasn't long before their food supplies dried up. After months with no sight of land, the pair were washed up on this beach and taken to hospital, where they've since been treated for malnutrition. The father is less than half the weight he was when they set out on the voyage.
I've spent years building the boat. It seemed so romantic to sail around the world and a means of escape from our hard lives back in Russia. After the accident, we were lucky to eat 1 meal a day.
After months without a glimpse of dry land, they are now guests on this tropical island, to the bemusement of some of its Western visitors.
I think it's a very extraordinary story. But I must say, if I'd been through something like that, I could hardly have wished for a better place to end up than Phuket.
Apparently undaunted by their ordeal, the pair plan to spend the next few weeks patching up their craft before setting sail on the long journey home. Barring further incident, it's south from here to Australia and then on to Russia, where they're guaranteed a hero's welcome. David Willis, BBC News, Phuket, southern Thailand.
Golf, and South Africa won the Dunhill Cup for the first time by defeating Sweden in the final at St Andrews. Earlier in the semi-final with America, Sweden's Joachim Häggman scored a world record equalling 9 under par 27 over the first 9 holes. In the final, though, Häggman lost to Ernie Els as South Africa won the match 2-1. Els and teammates Retief Goosen and David Frost each collected prizes of £100,000. Tottenham Hotspur eased the pressure on their manager Gerry Francis by beating Sheffield Wednesday at White Hart Lane. Their 3-2 victory was only their third in the FA Carling Premiership this season.
Without a league win since August, Tottenham's players were well aware that their underachievement meant that their manager Gerry Francis, already suffering from a bad back, was worrying about getting a stab in it as well. But the undeniable tension was lifted after only 6 minutes, courtesy of Pressman's failure to stop Dominguez's dipping shot. Wednesday might easily have been level soon after, but Tottenham's Walker proved more alert than his counterpart as Stefanovic threatened. But then, shortly before the interval, the Tottenham goal drought, just 6 in the league before today, turned into something of a flood. First, Campbell's challenge was deemed legitimate, to Armstrong's benefit. Then, with Wednesday rocking, David Ginola struck with the certainty of an arrow. 3-0, and now the managerial pressure was bearing down on Wednesday's David Pleat. His side responded better in the second half, and with 20 minutes left, Collins's faint nudge gave them a little hope. Then, with just 5 minutes to go, Paolo Di Canio put Tottenham back on edge with Wednesday's second. But to Francis's relief, they couldn't quite deny his side the victory. Kevin Geary, BBC News.
And tonight's main news again, the Chancellor Gordon Brown has said he won't be bounced into a statement clarifying the government's position on a single European currency. That's all from the BBC Newsroom tonight. From everyone here, good night.
Hello, good evening to you. The British Isles is being attacked from 2 directions at the moment. One weather front in the far north bringing a change to cooler air, cooler conditions, and quite a bit of rain coming up from the southwest, already reaching Devon and Cornwall, and there could be some heavier bursts of rain through the night. Now, before those 2 weather fronts meet up, just in here there's some mist and fog with visibilities down as low as 100 metres, making some quite difficult driving conditions. Most of that fog will clear away in the second half of the night. Now, the winds are going to freshen up all the time through tonight and tomorrow, but where the skies do clear in the far north, the lighter winds here, we are going to see temperatures fall as low as -2, so a frost in parts of Scotland. Well, there's the area of high pressure and the low to the south. It won't have escaped your attention. Those tightly packed isobars mean some quite strong winds, those winds reaching gale force at times through tomorrow. A lot of cloud in the south giving some outbreaks of rain from time to time as well. By the end of Monday afternoon into the evening period, the winds in the English Channel could be peaking at 50 to 60 miles an hour in the gusts. Much brighter further north, but a much cooler and fresher feel to the air. And the best temperature we can expect tomorrow, just 13 or 14 degrees, significantly cooler than it has been through the weekend. The forecast over the next few days keeps the high pressure in the north still rather breezy through Tuesday, with these weather fronts producing outbreaks of rain. But as we move into Wednesday, the winds begin to ease off, and that does mean during the night time with the clearer skies we're going to see quite a widespread frost, but some sunshine during the day, but increasing amounts of mistiness and fog during the mornings. That's the forecast. Have a good evening.